Anyway, um, you said we left off right after you started the long rest.
Yeah, basically, we had all decided what rooms we were going to go in, and that was about it.
Yeah, because you got the special one. It was forced upon you.
I just got touched with it.
You you got the room that comes with the service from the owner herself. But so easy night. Um, is there anything you want to do to the next day before you go back to the Emerald Forge?
Not to my knowledge. We still got that thing to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying go back there. Because all you have to do is go in, gather the crystals, come back. Everything else, you let blacksmith lady worry about. All right. Um, let's see. Hmm. Uh. Okay. So you just want to head there, get this done and over with.
Sounds like it honestly would be for the best.
All right. You make your way back to the Emerald Forge, and the air inside is heavy with arcane energy as Kalith prepares to open the portal. Uh, the central workshop, typically cluttered with tools and half finished creations, has been meticulously cleared for the ritual. A series of glowing runes circle the perimeter of the room, etched into the floor in emerald green. Kayla stands at the center of the runic circle, holding a staff of dark steel topped with a shard of glimmering crystal. Her green eyes blaze with determination as she recites an incantation. What languages does everyone speak?
Um, Common, Elvish, Infernal, and Sylvan.
Yeah, Abyssal, Common, Deep Speech, Dwarvish, and Infernal.
Abyssal, Deep Speech, Infernal, Undercommon, and Common.
Saa'kan, you recognize parts as Draconic, and Violet, you recognize parts as Sylvan.
This is a bastardized ritual, but okay.
Um, you can't quite clear or can't quite make out what she's saying, but something about ancient pathways and something called the Glade of Everchange.
Sounds interesting.
You also pick up wild magic. I hope you know if you're trying to speak into your microphone, you're muted.
No, I know I was muted.
Okay. As she speaks, the runes glow brighter, pulsing in rhythm with her words. The air grows colder, and the faint scent of wildflowers and damp earth fills the room. Suddenly, a swirling portal of emerald light materializes, its surface shimmering like liquid glass. Turns to you. This portal is stable, but it won't remain so indefinitely. When you step through, you'll find yourselves near the Glade of Everchange. Tread carefully, the Feywild is as treacherous as it is beautiful. And she steps back, motioning for you to enter.
All right, everybody. Don't give them your name. or anything. If they ask for anything from you, don't give it to them. Let's go.
Okie dokie.
Are the other two of you following?
Violet will step through
Yeah.
first. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm falling behind.
Yeah, I'm following.
As you step through the portal, the world shifts around you. Colors become richer, sounds sharper, and the air itself hums with latent magic. You emerge on the edge of a serene meadow, dotted with flowers that seem to glow faintly with blue and gold shades. Towering trees with bark like polished silver and leaves of deep amethyst stretch towards a sky of shifting hues. Pink, gold, lavender. The air is alive with the gentle hum of insects, the distant trill of songbirds, and the faint tinkle of bells, though no source is visible. A narrow, winding path leads forward into the heart of the forest. As you make your way down this path, a butterfly with translucent wings the size of a dinner plate kind of flits on by and leaves a trail of sparkling dust.
Don't sniff the dust.
A stream nearby flows upward into the air before vanishing into a misty arc. And as you get to the edge of the forest, a pair of foxes, their fur shimmering as if spun from starlight, watch you curiously before darting away. I would like everyone to roll a perception check.
Well, I see how this is going tonight.
Oh, nice job, Zen.
Oh, I really see how this is going tonight.
All right.
I see nothing.
You're too enamored with all the pretty colors.
Nobody else sees anything either, except maybe Josh.
As you walk, you step into this area that just feels saturated with a lot more magic than the surrounding area. I want you to all roll d20 for me.
You have an 8 for me, sir.
Saa'kan. You don't have hair on a technicality, do you? It's technically scales.
Yeah, no.
As you all step into this zone, you watch as Saa'kan's scales turn a bright green.
Does that mean I'm a green dragonborn now? Can I spit out poison?
No,
Damn.
this is purely cosmetic.
Good color on you.
Let's see. The path grows narrower as you near the glade. The trees seem to lean in closer, their branches forming a natural archway. The light becomes softer, almost dreamlike, and the scent of blooming flowers fills the air. Ahead, a faint golden glow marks the entrance to the glade of Everchange, where the Sylvan Heart crystals await. Do you enter?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Are we going to get robbed?
You might.
Probably.
Depends on how you go about this. As you step through the natural archway of the intertwined silver trees, you're greeted by a realm that feels like the heart of the Feywild itself. A sacred, untouched haven where magic and nature Words! Blend seamlessly. The air is warmer here.
Gleam.
Rich with the scent of wildflowers and the faint tang of ozone, as if a storm has recently passed. The trees surrounding the glade are ancient and impossibly tall. their bark shimmering in a spectrum of green and gold. The branches weave together to form a glowing canopy through which rays of soft, multicolored light filter down like perpetual aurora. At the center of the glade, sylvan heart crystals rise from the ground like natural sculptures. Each crystal pulses faintly with an inner light, their colors shifting between hues of soft blue, vibrant green, and pale lavender. The crystals hum faintly, resonating with the magic that saturates the air. The earth is covered in a lush carpet of moss and tiny glowing mushrooms. Flowers bloom in impossible patterns, their petals seeming to change shape and color as they sway gently, even though there's no breeze. The glade hums with life. A soft melody, like an endless lullaby, seems to emanate from these crystals themselves. Occasionally, the trill of a bird or the distant laughter of unseen fey creatures blends with the music. Magic is palpable here, almost intoxicating. It sparks faintly in the air, causing the edges of your vision to shimmer. Zenster,
Yes.
you are not quite sure what effect this will have if you cast any spells.
Okay.
You're not sure if it will function like wild magic or have entirely new effects in general. But you do all see the crystals towards the center of the glade.
Oh, look, what we came for.
I'm gonna go over to one of the crystals and start mining.
All right. As you step closer to the center of the glade, the ground trembles faintly, and a deep, resonant voice echoes from the surroundings. Who dares disturb the heart of the glade of Everchange? Speak your purpose, and know that this sacred ground is not easily tread by outsiders. And emerging from a grove of towering flowers is a treant. Its massive form is covered in bark etched with glowing ancient runes, and blossoms of every color sprout from its branches, and glowing vines coil around its limbs. Its eyes, glowing green pools, radiate wisdom and authority. It takes slow, deliberate steps, each one causing flowers to bloom and fade beneath its feet. Despite its immense size and power, there's a calm, almost paternal energy to its presence. Tiny translucent figures flit between the trees, their laughter like the chime of bells. They watch you curiously, occasionally whispering among themselves.
I'm going to be straight with you. We are here for those crystals. Doesn't say anything back.
How are you acting? Are you acting careless? Are you being respectful? What are you...
Um, kind of a mix. She's calm at this point, and she's just, we're here for those. We were sent in here. Want to cause no issues. If we have to give something in return, we might be able to do that.
Those who seek the crystals may either solve a riddle or leave behind an offering of equal value. Then I can hear whatever you're doing.
Yeah. And what would you call equal value to these?
A magic item with personal significance, a memory tied to your past, or you may swear an oath to protect the Feywild in future endeavors.
She could leave her old greatsword. She has quite
Your
a
old
few memories
greatsword got
tied with that.
melted down, remember?
Oh, why the hell is it still in my damn inventory then?
I don't know. Why is it?
I don't know. Remove, delete, goodbye. Actually, she has several fucking things in her inventory.
Well, it has to have personal significance.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm like, "Mm,
You can offer up a memory or swear the oath.
you know, either one of those would be fine with me.
All right. So, which one are you choosing?
I'm gonna swear the oath to protect the fucking Feywild. Fuck it.
All right.
She does. She does have some Sylvan heritage.
All right. And the rest of you?
Well, I got us into this. So, the promise to protect the Feywild is not too difficult to attain.
I'll leave behind Saa'kan.
Now, hold on, when did I become a fucking item?
The moment you chose Dragonborn?
But I'm not a chromatic dragonborn. I'm a metallic one.
That doesn't matter depending on who you ask.
Oh man, okay, fair enough.
Hey, that's my item. You can't give that away.
But that become your item.
I got you a very nice sweet. Shut up.
Anyway. Zenster, Harland.
Let me check out my inventory. I'm just gonna pull out some like flowstone. This reasonable.
I mean, it doesn't really have personal significance.
Just give him all of it so you don't blow up. That'll be personal significance.
I'll give away my old greatsword.
All right.
I'm gonna take my mask off and give it to it.
Really?
What's
That-
under it?
It's just
No,
Matthias.
God, now that you question me, now I'm just like debating.
Yeah, no, we went through a lot to get that dog. What the fuck?
No, never mind. Yeah.
So you can offer up a memory or swear an oath.
I'll offer up a memory.
All right. What memory will you offer?
Probably one from my childhood.
That's real specific.
More details.
Probably from back when my family was kind of happy before they took on the vampiric curse.
More details.
God, is your family just fucking Lord Harkon and all them?
I knew it.
It's like,
He's
they
a
were
ginger bent
fall-
Serana. God damn it!
I mean, he is pretty twinky.
That will suffice, I suppose. Zenster, you watch as two roots come out of the ground at either side, go up to about your temples, and faint bits of magic glow, and then they retreat. And you feel as though you've forgotten something, but you're not quite sure what.
I'm used to that feeling.
Ooh, aren't we edgy?
I more or less was referring to the call game.
No, that's not how that worked. You remember being by yourself. But so it was just Violet and Saa'kan that swore the oath, right?
See.
Very well. Those of you that swore the oath. Let's see. Know that you may be called upon at any moment to help defend the Glade of Everchange.
Violet's just gonna give like kind of arm across her chest, just bow of head, like okay.
Khan's gonna take his spear that's got his holy symbol etched in on it and just kind of like stab it in the ground in front of him.
All right. Hmm. All right. So the treant kind of steps back, and if you make any moves on the crystals, the treant will not stop you.
Okie dokie, we go to a mine crystal.
I'm gonna go mine no crystal. Add it to my
Speaking of
collection.
mining the crystals, how the hell are we doing this? Who has the pickaxe or whatever we need, or is it just like laying there where we can pick
Well,
them up?
no. Remember he used his dagger.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let the more experienced one get the crystals.
You know how this goes. Dexterity check. Add your proficiency.
That's a nat 20.
God! Saa'kan, how many were you going for?
How many did we need? We needed 10, right?
Yeah, you said you wanted to get double that.
Yeah, I wanted to double it because I'm a nice guy.
TM.
Wait, what?
Nice guy TM.
Oh, okay.
You know the...
No, that's a good guy.
No. It is called nice guy. The dudes that wear fedoras, you know, milady. Those are
Hey,
called nice
fuck off.
guys. Those are called
I
nice
used
guys.
to own a fedora.
I know.
I had like 4 of them.
That makes a lot of sense.
You
Once
also
the
have a
nice guy
caddy hat.
stereotype
Do we
came
want to talk
around,
about
he had
that,
to
you
get
freaking
rid of him.
Italian?
Hey, don't fucking talk about my goddamn cabbie hat. Come on.
So, we'll say you get 5 with a natural 20. No, because 5 is what you get with a dirty 20. We'll say you get 6. Do you let him know the amount that you need? Do you let him know the amount that you need?
I kind of talked a little bit too hard, Zenster, and I kind of said we'd get 20.
Damn. That's not really ready for me.
You could always get more.
Yeah, you can always learn portal magic. So there's a ring of them that goes around the center of the glade.
Any of us go and try to get some more?
Yeah, you all fucking did the thing.
Okay, well, Pilot's gonna go off and try to harvest some.
All right. Do you have a dagger or something small?
I should. Yes, I do.
All right. You can use that. It's going to be a dexterity check.
It's a dagger. Dexterity. Oh, check, not saving throw. I was about to put saving throw.
Add your proficiency bonus as well.
Okay. That would be a dirty 20 plus 2.
Jesus Christ. All right. 6 more.
I got a crowbar.
So
Can I
that's
try with that?
12. Oh my god. Don't whack it. Please, God, don't whack it.
You can certainly try.
Don't smash them, please.
Before he does this, can I use my dagger to get some too?
Yeah.
That's 4.
Plus your proficiency bonus?
2, so that's 6.
You get 1.
No, you don't get
Nothing.
any.
I don't get shit.
I walk over to the location he's at and try to help him.
In fact, the crystal grows.
Eh?
Hey, I got something on me that grows too.
All right. Harlan gets
God,
6
people.
more.
So that's 18.
Yeah.
We might
y'all's
be
doubt
too
me,
short.
bitches.
As I said, can I go walk over to him and see if I can help him?
Yeah, it'll be at disadvantage though.
But that's another dex roll at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll try. Mine would have been 8.
Nope, still nothing.
Can I get 1? Aww.
Can I go help?
I don't know why you're all focusing on this one. There's like 4 other ones.
I'm gonna go to another one.
Go ahead. Come on. I want to see you roll one more time. So I can laugh.
Let's go.
That would be 2.
There you go. You got your freaking 20. Can we leave now?
Well, hold on. Zenster wanted some.
What?
Zenster wanted some. Zenster wanted some, right?
Yeah,
So let Zenster get some.
he gets 3. No, 4.
I'm gonna walk over to one more pile for the hell of it. Well, not pile per se, but you know, one more area.
Mm-hmm.
16.
3.
Okay. I'm adding those to my like particular inventory.
All right. I will put what they are in.
Oh.
So you know what to call it.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So do you go back?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, we going back.
Yeah, obviously.
I want all of you to roll another d20. Zenster, your bright red hair is now bright green. And it's not just on your head, it's your eyebrows too.
Going all Taunus.
Oh, dang.
Alright. So the portal hums with energy as you step back through. Looking at each other, your forms are outlined by the faint glimmer of Feywild magic. The air of the Emerald Forge feels heavier than the vibrant Feywild, its familiar scent of oil, metal, and arcane energy grounding them back in the material plane. Kayla stands at her workbench, and the forge's tools are now scattered across the surface. She doesn't look up immediately. She's focused on fine-tuning a mechanical gauntlet. The runes on her staff, leaning nearby, pulse faintly as if reacting to your presence. Her green eyes flicker like flame as she turns to greet you, her sharp features creasing into a rare but faintly amused smile. Strands of her silvery hair glint in the forge's light, and her robes are lightly dusted with soot. You feel her gaze sweep over you. And her eyes linger on the crystals that you carry. Ah, so you didn't get yourselves turned into frogs or trapped in some Feywild prank. I'll admit, I'm impressed. Did you bring what I asked for, or should I start drafting a rescue plan?
No, 20 of them as promised.
Motions for you to place them on a clear section of her workbench.
Dump.
Drop them all. Just
Her hands, steady and precise, hover over the crystals as she murmurs an incantation. The glow from the crystals pulses in rhythm with the faint green light now emanating from her staff. These will do nicely. You've exceeded my expectations, and that's no small feat. With these, I can create something truly exceptional.
do you remember the name of the artificer that fucking I said last time that crafted my guy's arm?
No?
Well, Saa'kan's gonna give her a small letter. Here, if you want to meet the guy that did this to my arm, he told her his name last week. I just can't fucking remember. This is a letter of introduction. If you can ever get away from here, because he's kind of a snobby dick nowadays. So you'll need this.
Takes it from you. As she does so, the Feywild is only one realm of interest. There are other places I cannot go, but you can. If you're willing to explore, there's more work and more bargains to be made.
Well, he's gonna look back towards his group. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna ask the
Sorry,
lady.
dealing with my child.
I'm gonna ask the lady about what these crystals can be used for.
Do. She's turned back to the crystals at this point. Her hands are hovering back over them. She pauses, almost as if she's reluctant to explain. Her eyes flicker with this intensity that suggests she's weighing how much to reveal. Finally, she straightens after about a minute, crossing her arms and leaning against the edge of the workbench, the glow of her forge casting sharp shadows across her features. Sylvan heart crystals are no ordinary baubles. Their magic is raw, ancient, and deeply tied to the Feywild itself. They are conduits of life energy, capable of enhancing and amplifying or even altering the very nature of magic or materials they're bound to. She picks up one of the crystals, holding it up to the forge light, and the glow within intensifies, casting a soft, shifting spectrum across the room. These crystals can imbue weapons, armor, or tools with extraordinary properties. A blade might not cut just flesh, but the veil between planes. An amulet might turn its wearer invisible, not just to the eye, but to all senses. Taps the crystal lightly and a faint ripple of magic spreads throughout the air. For spellcasters, they serve as amplifiers. A simple spell, let's say a firebolt, might become a conflagration, its power multiplied by the crystal's energy. But such strength comes at a cost. The untrained often find themselves consumed by magic they unleash. For those with the knowledge, Sylvan Heart crystals can serve as keystones for planar magic. Portals, barriers, even constructs of pure energy. Entire cities in the Feywild are said to be built on their resonance. They're also unmatched in their ability to heal or create. Used correctly, they can mend a broken artifact or even a broken life. Her voice lowers slightly and her gaze turns distant as though recalling something personal. But her tone sharpens as she places the crystal back on the workbench. But these aren't playthings. Their magic is unpredictable, even volatile. Without proper knowledge or respect for their origins, you could unravel yourself just as easily as enhance your work. The Feywild gives little without demanding something in return. She leans forward, her eyes locking with all of yours. So, if you're thinking of experimenting, don't. Let me handle these, or if you're feeling reckless, find someone else to clean up the mess when it all goes wrong.
That speech actually just sparked something in Violet's mind. Would she be able to infuse her new greatsword?
What are you wanting to infuse it with?
At this point, either or. Personally, at this point, the Sylvan crystals.
How many?
Well, I mean, she has 3. So, I mean, the only thing I could think of is basically 1 on the handle and then 2 on, well, technicality they would all 3 be on the handle, but basically
I know what you're talking about. 2 in the crossguard, 1 in
yeah.
the...
Yep. But that is completely honestly up to her. But she's going to explain. I have had what was it called? Glowstone in my previous greatsword. So I should know how to wield magic, but you do have my promise that I will be careful.
So, her brow, her brows arch sharply at the request. Her expression a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. Picks up one of the Sylvan Heart crystals again from the workbench and turns it slowly in her fingers, the light pulsing faintly within from the rhythm of her movements. 3 Sylvan Heart crystals in a single blade. You're not just asking for an enchanted sword. You're asking for something that borders on an artifact. Something powerful enough to cleave through more than just flesh and steel. She sets the crystal down and leans against the edge of her workbench, folding her arms. It's possible. But infusing 3 crystals into one weapon isn't just about the strength of the enchantments. It's about balance. Each crystal carries its own resonance, its own personality, if you will. Merge them in properly, and the blade will shatter the first time you draw it, or worse, it might shatter you.
You just see Zinster writing down like stuff in his book.
She just looks over to the side at you. The metal will need to be flawless, adamantine or something rarer. It must be capable of withstanding not just physical blows, but the magical strain of 3 separate enchantments working in harmony. Each crystal will need to be attuned to a specific purpose. Raw power won't suffice. One crystal might enhance the blade's edge, another amplify the wielder's abilities, and a third channel pure magic. Without careful alignment, the energies will conflict. This weapon won't be just a tool. It will demand something of its master. A bond, a sacrifice, or perhaps even a fragment of your very essence. Are you prepared for that?
She's gonna lean into where only she can hear. It already does.
She narrows her eyes, her voice growing more serious. There's also the matter of stability. 3 crystals means 3 ties to the Feywild. The blade might not just cut, it could warp reality itself. You might find yourself pulling pieces of the Feywild into our plane every time you draw it. Or worse, you might find the blade pulling you there permanently. If you're certain this is what you want, then I'll do it. But don't expect it to come cheap or quickly.
How about 1 to start?
Did you still want to know the difference between Flowstone and the Sylvan Heart crystals, their difference in power, since I'm assuming you would have mentioned you had some in your old sword?
Yes, but give me 2 seconds because I really have to pee. And I apologize because I've been holding it this entire session.
Yeah, as Violet's like talking to her, I'm like jotting down every.
Yeah, and you
note.
see her looking at you every so often.
So, what would it take for you to teach me how to work these crystals?
She lets out a laugh. A very extensive favor. One I don't think you're prepared for.
What kind of favor did you have in mind?
Give me just a second.
Like I have an extremely long life ahead of me.
Also, for reference, I'm back.
Alright, give me just a second. Okay. Anyway. So, the difference between Flowstone and Sylvanheart crystals. Her expression shifts to one of intrigue at the mention of Flowstone. She steps away from her workbench, retrieving a small, jagged shard of Flowstone from a drawer. Holding it up alongside a Sylvanheart crystal, she lets the light from her forge illuminate both. Flowstone and Sylvanheart crystals are both potent, but their natures and uses are entirely different. Comparing them is like comparing fire to lightning, both destructive but in unique ways. She gestures to the softly glowing Sylvanheart crystal. Sylvanheart crystals are raw, unfiltered magic drawn from the Feywild. They carry the untamed essence of life, growth, and transformation. Their power is both vibrant and volatile, tied to the unpredictable nature of the Feywild itself. They're versatile, suitable for enchantments, planar magic, or amplifying spells. Their strength lies in the ability to connect to the Feywild's primal energy, making them ideal for creations that need a touch of the extraordinary. But they're fickle. Without proper handling, they can twist or corrupt the magic they're channeled into. The Feywild always demands a price. I can hear your stuff, Zinster. She turns to her attention to the jagged shard of flowstone. Flowstone, on the other hand, is more rooted in the material plane. It's a stone of transformation, capable of shifting its form under the right conditions. Its magic is subtle, stable, and reactive. A stark contrast to the raw energy of Sylvan Heart crystals. Flowstone excels in adaptation. It can be used to create weapons or tools that change shape, armor that adjusts to its wearer, or constructs that can repair themselves. Its strength is in its durability and its versatility. Flowstone isn't as dangerous as Sylvan Heart crystals, but its power is limited. Overuse or improper application can cause it to destabilize, becoming brittle or inert. To put it simply, Sylvan Heart crystals are for raw power and untamed magic. They're for those that want to break boundaries and risk everything. Flowstone is for precision and practicality. No less impressive, but far more predictable. If you want a weapon that tears through reality, you'd use Sylvan Heart. But if you want a weapon that adapts to every challenge, you'd use Flowstone. The choice depends on whether you want sheer power or reliable versatility. She pauses, her green eyes narrowing thoughtfully. Of course, if someone were foolish, or brilliant enough, to combine the two, the results could be unparalleled or catastrophic. And you suggested reducing the amount of Sylvan Heart to 1?
Yes.
She looks visibly relieved when you suggest reducing the number of Sylvan Heart crystals. She picks up a single crystal from her workbench, its soft glow reflecting in her emerald eyes, and exhales a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. A single Sylvan Heart crystal? That's a much more reasonable request. It's still no small task, but at least we're not tempting fate quite as much.
You mentioned combining it with Flowstone. Could
Hold on, not done.
Sorry.
She turns the crystal in her hand, slight shifting in intensity as she does. With one, the risks are lower and the results are more stable. But don't mistake that for a lack of power. This blade will still be formidable. Perhaps even more so since we don't have to worry about competing energies tearing it apart. The magic will be more balanced. I can focus the crystal's energy into a single purpose. Whether that's enhancing the edge, channeling magic through it, or something else entirely. Fewer crystal means fewer points of failure. The great sword will likely last longer and be less likely to deteriorate under strain. The wielder will have an easier time mastering the weapon. Multiple crystals might have made the sword powerful, but it also would have demanded more from you. Physically, mentally, and magically. She places the crystal on the workbench and begins sketching designs. Here's what I suggest. We focus the crystal's energy on one primary enchantment. A blade infused with a Sylvan Heart crystal can do almost anything, but we need to be specific. Do you want it to cut through magical barriers, channel elemental power, or perhaps enhance your own abilities in battle? And she taps the crystal lightly, its light pulsing faintly. Even with just one crystal, there's still a price to pay. This blade will carry the essence of the Feywild. It might draw attention from creatures that don't take kindly to mortals meddling with their magic, and it will demand respect. Neglect it, and it will neglect you when you need it most. Looks up from her sketches, serious but eager expression on her face. So, what's it gonna be? What kind of power do you want this crystal to awaken in your blade?
She's going to explain how the two flowstones that she had in her previous great sword basically did force damage. And honestly, since she is so skilled in this, asked for her own personal suggestion. Excuse me.
So I'm not leaving Zinster hanging.
Yeah, well, while you're dealing with Zinster, I'll put Raven to bed.
She leans against her workbench, arms crossed, as you mention your desire to learn how to work with Sylvan Heart crystals. Her eyes narrow thoughtfully, and after a moment, her lips curve into a sly smile. Teaching someone to work with Sylvan Heart crystals. That's not something I do lightly. You're asking for knowledge that could change your life, or end it if you're careless. She picks up a crystal, letting its soft light dance over her fingers. Good night, Raven. This isn't just hammer and anvil work. It's about understanding the crystal's nature, its connection to the Feywild, and the balance it demands. If you're serious, I'm willing to teach, but only if you're willing to earn it. She sets the crystal down and folds her arms. There's a ruined temple deep in the Feywild near the Glade of Everchange. It was said to be a repository for enchanted tools and relics crafted by the Wild Smiths, a long-lost sect of Fey artisans. Some of their tools might help refine Sylvan Heart crystals even further. You'll retrieve one of these relics for me. If you're lucky, you might even find something to aid in your own craft. I need raw Feywild essence to stabilize the more volatile crystals. It can only be gathered from areas where the veil between the Feywild and our plane is the weakest, usually in places where the Feywild has bled into the material plane. Bring me a vial of this essence, and I'll teach you the foundations of working with Sylvan Heart crystals. Her tone becomes more serious and her gaze sharpens. This isn't just busy work. The Feywild isn't kind to those who tread its paths blindly. And if you try to take more than you're meant to, the Fey will make sure you regret it. Be respectful, be cautious, and for God's sake, don't make any deals unless you absolutely have to.
Zinz is gonna nod.
Bring me the artifact or the essence, and I'll teach you everything I know. Well, almost everything. You'll learn how to shape, attune, and infuse these crystals without losing a hand, or your soul. So what do you say? Are you ready to prove you're serious about this craft, or shall I keep my secrets to myself?
I'm serious about learning.
Which one are you going to do? Are you going to venture back into the Feywild to go visit the temple, or are you going to try to find somewhere the Feywild has bled into the material plane?
I think going for the relic would be the...
So you want to go, you want to find the ruined temple?
Yeah.
Well, Saa'kan, looks like you're going back to the Feywild.
To Allah in heaven I shall go.
Wait, is Saa'kan and me still green?
Yeah, it lasts for an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, Saa'kan is noticeably green. La 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 la. I shall be right back.
Did everybody perish or something?
Austin
blue
had
here.
It's like, Scott, you did a favor for her, and now I'm doing a favor for her. Like, we're all going to the Feywild again.
Sorry, bud. I'm big.
Welcome back.
Harland, is there anything you would like to ask her about the Sylvan Heart crystals or anything in particular?
Nah, he's good.
Alright. He's just taking in the experience.
Yeah. Like his first time being high.
Just so you know, Zinster, this is not going to be easy.
Didn't think it would be.
Are you having fun on Whitebird there, Bam?
What's up?
Are you having fun on Whiteboard there?
Yes.
What? Bread? Bread?
God damn it, Bob.
You're going to the Shadow Realm.
Why?
I have server muted you.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
I don't care.
I thought you were talking to me.
No.
Because you're the goddamn it, Poppy.
No, if I server muted you, it would have cut it off.
I probably should serve you, I'm not gonna lie.
Ugh. Ooh, these are some nice suggestions for Violet's sword.
Ooh.
Actually, I think Harland would benefit from one of these.
Possibly.
Hmm. Because it gave me one life leech or restoration.
Neat.
And that would tie into Sanguine Knight.
That is true, it would.
Um, Hey,
What a
hey,
wow. What a wow.
hey, hey. I think you're gonna like these suggestions.
Huh?
I think you're gonna like these suggestions. Scoot, scoot.
I'm scrolling. You know what?
Eh.
Death by fruit snack.
I have been physically harassed. I'm going to eat these fruit snacks.
Are we still recording or is it
No,
paused?
no, we're still recording.
Okay.
I harassed him by throwing a fruit snack bag at him.
All right. So, She stands back from her sketches, tapping a finger to her chin as she considers possibilities. Her eyes flicker with thought as she contemplates the various ways a Sylvan Heart Crystal could be channeled into a greatsword. The Sylvan Heart Crystal's connection to the Feywild can be easily harnessed to channel elemental magic. Fire for destruction, ice for control, or perhaps nature itself, to allow the blade to shift its form depending on the environment. For example, if you want to cut through enemies like a firestorm, the crystal could channel flames in explosive burst. But if you prefer something a bit more tactical, ice could freeze enemies on contact, slowing them as you strike. Nature would let your blade grow thorns or vines, ensnaring foes with every swing. Fire and ice are pretty straightforward, but nature, that's a powerful, unpredictable force. It might tie the blade to the land or the seasons themselves. Another option is to tie the crystal to the Feywild's enchanting nature. This would imbue the blade with some of the Feywild's more mystical properties, perhaps the ability to bypass magical defenses or to affect creatures native to the Feywild more strongly. It could also allow the wielder to tap into the Feywild itself, granting the ability to momentarily slip between the material and Feywild planes. Short-range teleportation, or the ability to avoid an attack by briefly fading into another realm. The Sylvan Heart Crystal is tied to life, growth, and the cycles of nature. You could channel that energy into a blade that draws vitality from those it strikes, healing the wielder with each successful blow. Or perhaps it could sap the life force of enemies, weakening them with every strike and transferring that energy to you. This is risky. The Feywild does not give without taking. If you misuse this power, it might come back to haunt you. If you're feeling bold, the crystal could be used to warp the very fabric of reality around the blade. With each swing, the blade might momentarily change its shape, turning into a spear, a whip, or even splitting into multiple blades for a short time. This would make the weapon incredibly versatile, but also potentially unstable. The Feywild's magic is powerful, and the more you manipulate reality, the more the more you try to manipulate reality, the more unpredictable it could become. A more unique approach to use the crystal power would be to summon small fey creatures when you strike. Perhaps a burst of energy would call a fey guardian to your aid, swift, elusive creatures that can momentarily distract enemies, granting you an opening. This would tether the sword to the Feywild in a very direct way. It could summon the wrong type of fey, or worse, draw unwanted attention from more dangerous entities. Crosses her arms, eyeing you with a hint of both excitement and caution. These are just a few ideas, but they're all powerful in their own right. If you want sheer destruction, fire or ice might be the way to go. If you want something more subtle and versatile, the Feywild resonance or shifting form could be interesting. The life leeching or restoration option is a tempting one for those who like to stay in the fight, but it's also dangerous. And summoning Fey allies, well, that could be unpredictable, but also very useful if you're prepared for the consequences. The choice is yours, but whatever you pick, it will shape the sword and perhaps even you in ways you can't fully predict.
She honestly likes the idea of the first one with the nature instead of the fire or ice.
Okay.
I'll reread what you read.
About the elemental infusion?
Yes, I believe so. The nature one.
Yeah. If you nature magic would let the blade grow thorns or vines, perhaps ensnaring foes on every swing. But it would also possibly tie the blade to the land or tie the blade to the land or season themselves.
You know what? She's gonna pick the safer option just for now, and go with fire.
All right.
I mean, she is a tiefling. Fire is in her blood, literally. So I will let you alter the weapon.
Oh, hold on. So, her eyes gleam with approval as you select the fire as the channel for the Sylvan Heart Crystal. She nods thoughtfully, placing the crystal back down on the workbench and adjusting her tools in preparation for the process. Fire, then. A classic choice. Raw, destructive, and untamable, just like the Feywild itself. She runs her fingers through her silver hair, tone growing more focused, will channel the crystal's energy into the blade, forging a connection to the flames of the Feywild. The sword will be capable of igniting on command, burning anything it touches. But it'll also have a deeper connection to the Feywild's raw, untamed fire magic. When you swing it, the blade will unleash bursts of flame, cutting through the air like a streak of fire. Whether it's scorching enemies in a wide arc or igniting them on contact, this will be as fearsome as a wildfire, unstoppable once it gets going. She begins her work. No, let's see.
Oh.
I'm seeing something.
Thinking. That's terrifying as a DM.
All right. How are you going to be are you going to payment wise, how are you going to be providing for this?
Well, we did go through all that trouble going to the Feywild to procure these, so I think there would be a little bit of a discount in mind.
She could.
That is not how that works.
Yeah,
Shut the
no.
fuck up! I will roll persuasion.
I mean, you can. It'd be a disadvantage considering this was done as a favor for.
oh yeah, I forgot it. It was a favor for Josh's thing.
I literally did it.
Thing.
We did it for y'all.
Hey, hey, shut up. Okay, fine enough. Name your price.
Are you not gonna roll?
Then I didn't say that. What? Roll persuasion?
I'll let you if you want. It's a disadvantage.
I'll do it for the fuck of it. Just to see. It would have been an 11.
Considers the request for payment, her fingers brushing over the glowing Sylvan Heart crystal as she calculates the value of the work involved. After a moment's thought, she looks up from her work with a knowing smile, ready to discuss the cost of her services. If you're providing the blade, that certainly reduces the workload on my end. The real challenge lies in the infusion of the Sylvan Heart crystal's magic into the blade, as well as the necessary enchantments and protections to ensure the fire doesn't destroy the sword, or you. She pauses, her expression becoming more serious as she focuses on the work ahead. For this process, I'd typically charge 500 gold for the work and the enchantments, with an additional 1,000 gold for the rare materials I'll need to stabilize the magic, including enchanted oils, runic symbols for fire binding, and specialized tools to ensure the fusion of Feywild energy. However, Since you've provided the blade, I'll adjust the price. The base fee will be 500 gold, and an additional 500 for the infusion of the Sylvan Heart Crystal. I'll also need a small amount of your time to attune the blade once it's finished, to ensure the fire magic doesn't reject you. The total cost will be 1,000 gold. She gives a small smile, with it clearly recognizing that the price may be high, but justifiable. It may seem steep, but trust me,
But it's worth it.
it's worth it. You'll have a weapon. What is it with me and words tonight? You'll have a weapon
Dyslexic
capable.
much?
No, my eyes are moving faster than I'm reading, so I'm jumbling words. You'll have a weapon capable of cutting through almost anything. And with the Feywild's fire at your side, you'll be a force to be reckoned with. Just be sure to handle it with care. This power isn't something to be taken lightly.
She's gonna need time to get that money. Unless, of course, she goes up to all her comrades and be like, "Look, I did a lot of shit for you. Give me some money." No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna do that.
How much do you need?
A
The
lot
total
more
is
than I have. I'll
the
tell you that
total
much.
is 1,000
The
gold.
total is 1,000. She's going to give her 200 gold, and tell her basically, this is a down payment. Trust me when I say I will be returning to do this.
If that amount is too much for you at once, I could offer a payment plan over time, though I'll need full payment before the final enchantments are completed. Alternatively,
Completely understandable.
if you have anything of value to trade, magical artifacts, rare components, or even rare
Ooh.
knowledge, I'm open to negotiation.
Ooh.
If
She
you happen to
actually
know of
might.
any important Feywild figures or other patrons that could help you cover the cost of materials, that might also reduce the price.
She has that great sword that has the high quality and enchantments, by the way. Remember she looted something? I have it in my notes.
From where?
I can't remember. I
Was it
have
from
great sword, high
Storewatch?
quality. Yeah, great sword, high quality / enchantments, cloak, gold plated goblet with inlaid rubies, well crafted grappling hook, 30 feet. So she could, perchance, lower the cost at least a little bit. She's not looking to pay in full at this moment, but she could definitely lower the cost. If any of those things interest her. The cloak might, because it is a, it possibly can be magical, and the greatsword might be.
Don't like Prime. I'd stay by staying late.
I have no idea what Josh just said, nor do I want to know.
Yeah, no, you don't want to know, because I don't even know.
Fair enough. She's going to present those two things to her. I came across these. I personally have no use for them. They can aid you in any sort of way. Please, take them.
It's being slow.
If you also
No, it was
could
a.
offer her the other.
I believe
Go
it
ahead.
was a longsword, or was it a greatsword?
Long sword.
You said greatsword.
Okay.
That's what I wrote down.
Okay.
It says greatsword in parentheses high quality / enchantments.
Okay.
Cloak.
The greatsword. She looks at it. I mean, this will certainly help. It's nothing special. It's just a normal +1 enchanted greatsword. Cloak, however, is a cloak of protection.
Well, I already have one of those.
Give me just a second.
One of those cloaks, huh?
I'll slap 189 gold down.
Oh. Why?
Cause, can't tie my shoes. I need a big favor. I'm kidding. I just, I expect help with, turning a certain somebody.
I'm trying.
Okay. That's a fine weapon on its own, and a nice addition to my arsenal. I'd value it at around 300 gold. As for the Cloak of Protection, that is a... Though if you wanted to make it a permanent part of the process, I could deduct 250 from the final price. As for the Cloak of Protection, that's a fantastic item. It could come in handy for my work or personal use. I'd value it at around 450 gold. And I could reduce the price by 400 gold in exchange for it. She pauses briefly,
We will have
considering the exchange. So, in total, the combined value of the two items would save you about 650 gold off of the original price of 1,000 gold.
Plus the actually we're gonna up it to 250 that I would give her.
As I said,
Plus whatever
650. So this would be 650. That would make it
Subtracting that
350
now.
gold.
All right. I'm subtracting my 250 now because if not, I will forget. And I'm removing the others.
With this
Okay,
arrangement,
so
you'll still get the sword you wanted, and I'll have 2 fine items to help further my work. I think it's a fair deal for both of us. What do you say?
I would agree. Also, apparently, one of my comrades is willing to help.
What were you going to say, Harland?
I was gonna say I'd put 100 gold down on it.
All right. So you're going to do the remaining 100?
Yeah.
All right.
He's going to give a thankful nod to the people who supported her.
Caleb nods with a satisfied smile as she accepts the trade, fingers reaching eagerly for the greatsword and the cloak. Gives them each a quick but appreciative inspection before looking upon you, Violet. Excellent choice. I'll get started upon the infusion immediately. It will take a day or two to complete, but you'll have your blade ready soon enough.
He's going to draw her, because she has not given her greatsword yet, so
Yeah.
she's going to draw her greatsword, and more than likely she could probably sense some type of, energy coming off of it and gently hand it to her. Be careful. It bites back.
She looks down at the greatsword, already envisioning the transformation the Sylvan Heart Crystal will undergo as she binds it to the blade's very essence. I'll make sure to channel the fire carefully, ensuring it doesn't overwhelm the blade or the wielder. It'll take time, but by the end, you'll have a weapon of immense power. Feel free to come back in a day or two, or I will send word when the sword is ready for you to claim. And do keep an eye on the blade once it's in your hands. Fire can be temperamental, but it's also beautiful when controlled. With the deal struck, Caliph begins to prepare her workshop, setting items aside and readying the tools needed for the infusion process. The air in the room hums with the anticipation of magic, and you can already feel the weight of the impending transformation. Zinster, would you like to enlighten the party as to the deal you made?
Oh, please do.
So, She's willing to teach me if I go and retrieve some tools from the temple in the Feywilds.
Are we just going to make the Feywild our second home away from home at this point?
I mean, it's a pretty nice place.
Fair enough.
I'll come and help, of course.
But the
The
thing
Black
is,
Hand.
Violet doesn't have a weapon right now.
I have a dagger and a crossbow.
All right.
I also have a punch.
All right.
I also have a bodyguard. I'll use him as a meat shield. Now, who I am talking about? Who knows?
Definitely not Zinster. Well, I guess I'm actually not on my over here. I'm actually pretty tanky.
I'm very tanky right now. Gonna wield a dagger and a shield. We're good. Let's go.
As you go to leave, Kayla speaks up to you, Zinster. A wise choice, though not the easiest. The Feywild isn't a place where you can just waltz in and out. The temple you're after lies in the heart of the wilds, just beyond the Glade of Everchange. It is a place that has been forgotten by even the most seasoned Fey. The wildsmiths that once lived there, were eccentric, to say the least. Their artifacts were said to be imbued with the very essence of the Feywild. Powerful, chaotic, and unpredictable. A single relic could turn the tide of battles, alter the flow of time, or even reshape reality itself. But they're not easily obtained, and the Feywild doesn't take kindly to those who seek to claim its treasures. The temple is hidden in the heart of the wilds, a place where the Feywild is at its most untamed. It's not marked on any map, there are no clear paths to it. The Fae will twist the landscape to confuse you, creating illusions and shifting the very terrain beneath your feet. One moment you'll be walking through a forest, and the next you'll find yourself in an endless desert or a lake of honeyed fog. You'll need to use your wits and your senses. The Feywild speaks in riddles and whispers, and you'll need to listen carefully to find your way. As for the temple itself, it's not unguarded. The spirits of the wildsmiths still watch over their creations, and they have no love for trespassers. The guardians aren't like the ones you'd find in a typical dungeon. These are Fey spirits, and bound to the temple, and their mood can shift as easily as the wind. Some will help you, if you ask the right questions and offer them the proper respect. Others, however, will try to lead you astray or challenge you in ways that will test your sanity. It's not a place for brute force. You'll need patience, charm, and perhaps even a bit of luck. The relic I'm after is one of the wildsmith's tools, something that will help me refine these sylvan heart crystals further. It's called the Prism of Shifting Light. Prism-like object that can focus Feywild energy to stabilize unstable enchantments. It's said to be hidden deep within the temple, in a chamber that shifts locations, depending on the moon's phase. Bring me the prism, and I'll teach you everything you need to know about working with Sylvan Heart crystals. Fail, and you may find yourself bound to the Feywild forever. Go prepared. This isn't a task for the faint of heart. You'll need more than just weapons to survive in the Feywild. You'll need your wits, your diplomacy, and your courage. The Feywild can change you, sometimes in ways you don't even realize until it's too late. Remember, the Fey are not your enemies, nor are they your friends. They are something else entirely. Always approach with respect and never underestimate your power. You can almost hear the smile in her voice. Good luck, you'll need it.
Violet has dealt with enough face to just almost laugh about this.
These are unlike any Fae you have dealt with.
Oh, I wasn't laughing in that way.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm probably gonna have to drop them. I'm falling asleep.
I say,
I took my meds.
Why is it always my campaigns you take them super fucking early? Trying to tell me something? Am I that boring?
No, I'm just. I eat me.
okay, Austin. That means I don't get sex tonight either. Let's talk about both of us, boo.
All right.
Uh,
I will not be paying for this.
okay, I'm moving my shit to my chair at this point. Eh.
So, you have preparations to make. How are you
Yes, we
going to
do.
prepare for this?
Dev also says he's probably gonna have to stay over a little bit.
Like a little bit.
Okay.
Uh,
First things first, we need to get our anti-face spray.
are we gonna mace the Fae? They said that the Fae were not our enemies, but not our friends either. We cannot mace them.
It's like bug repellent, but for face.
Fae repellent. Eh.
Well, for one, we need to get you a better weapon. Since you're currently only got a dagger.
Well, we can either wait until mine is complete and make further preparations, or we can just charge blindly in. God have mercy.
Jesus Christ, Bam.
I still don't know how to do that.
You just go to your skills and add a custom one.
Yeah. You hit the additional skills, and then you can hit custom skills and add own skill.
Okie
Good.
dokie then.
You know what? That's something I should do for my Wild Hunts campaign is to make a harvesting skill.
Isn't that just nature?
I mean, yeah. It's complicated in the rules I'm using. Because, like, different creatures use different type of
Yeah.
skills for harvesting.
So, how are you? What are you gonna do? Are you waiting till her sword's done? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, say we wait for a sword.
All right.
If I gonna need it.
Is there anything you want
Yeah.
to do in the meantime? You're not picking up. You are not picking up. Oh, wait.
There you are.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
My fucking
have no
thing
clue.
shifted. Anyway, what were you saying?
Are there any? Is there a library where I get some books on Fey knowledge? Or to deal with Pacific Fey?
Give me a second.
I just keep hearing Bam switching games.
Yeah, I see that. I was about to say, what the hell are you doing, Bam? Then I'm like reading whiteboard and Goober Dash.
God damn it, Bob.
I'm so confused. I didn't know that you could play games on this.
Yeah, they're activities.
Oh, what the hell?
Yes, there is a library known as the Glimmerleaf Repository.
I'm gonna go there
Oh.
and look for books.
All right. It's located within the heart of the city. It's a renowned place for scholars, adventurers, and anyone seeking knowledge of surrounding forests, the sea, and the ancient magic that flows through the land. The library is housed within a vast ancient tree said to be one of the oldest in the forest. Its thick roots extend deep into the earth, while its trunk has been hollowed out to create grand chambers. The building is a harmonious blend of nature and craftsmanship, with large windows letting in dappled sunlight and vines draping gracefully over the walls. The repository holds an extensive collection of scrolls, tomes, and magical records. Its shelves are filled with texts on forest lore, druidic teachings, sea navigation, and the history of Ponnerton. Special section is dedicated to magical studies, with many ancient volumes on the interaction between Fey, elemental forces, and nature magic. An enigmatic Fey being known only as Arendor the Leafbinder serves as the chief archivist. Arendor is often found in the deepest corner of the library, surrounded by books and scrolls. The Fey archivist is known for their cryptic insights and the ability to find just the right piece of information, but they are also known to test those who seek knowledge with riddles or small challenges. The library has a large open reading room near the central trunk filled with wooden tables, comfy chairs, and glowing lanterns. The air is thick with the scent of old paper and the faint rustle of pages turning. Visitors often gather here to study, research, or simply enjoy the calming atmosphere. For those interested in the more mystical side of knowledge, there is a hidden restricted section where magical texts are studied. This area contains rare manuscripts on forgotten rites, elemental magic, and even some Fey magic, though access is tightly controlled by the city's druids and the archivists. Outside the library is a serene garden where rare plants and herbs are cultivated. Many of the plants here are used in potions or rituals, and the garden is sometimes used by scholars for their botanical research. It's a peaceful place where visitors can meditate or take a break from studies. The library occasionally holds events such as lectures on ancient civilizations, exhibitions on magical artifacts, or displays of forest creatures in collaboration with the Druids of Ponnerton. These events are often popular among visitors and locals alike.
Interesting.
All right.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go in and talk to the archivist to see if he has any books on Fey interactions, like how to deal with Pacific Fays.
Arendor looks up from a stack of books, their eyes gleaming with an ethereal light. Their voice is soft but carries the weight of ancient knowledge as they respond. You seek to understand the Fae, are you? Wise,
Yes.
though perilous, is the path you tread. The Fae are not like other creatures. Their ways twist through the very fabric of the seasons, and their motives often evade mortal minds. But knowledge is a key to navigating their realms. They gesture toward the shelves, and a few books float from their places and settle gently on a table nearby. Arendor also offers a bit of additional advice. If you seek to deal with the Fae, remember, they are creatures of whimsy, yes, but also of great power. They do not forget promises, and they do not abide by mortal rules. Be careful with your words and actions. The smallest slight can lead to unfortunate consequences. And if you make a bargain, ensure that you understand it fully. Fae are master negotiators, and they delight in turning the tables. They then give a soft, knowing smile. Now take these books. Study them well. But remember, sometimes the best way to deal with the Fae is to simply walk away.
I have been waiting all fucking every single campaign I have in to upload just one sound, and that was the one I chose. And it worked out perfectly.
I like the little rhyme you did at the end there.
The alliteration.
Yeah, it's like the best way to deal with a fae is walk away.
So you have 5 books. The Feywild, A Guide to the Enchanted Realm. Fey Bonds, Understanding the Pact of the Fey. A Bestiary of Fey Creatures, from Pixies to Archfey. The Lurking Fey, How to Recognize and Avoid Dangerous Fey. The Dance of Seasons, Understanding the Fey Courts.
I shall begin reading.
Which one?
All of them.
I'll do it. First, read the Bonds of the Fae one.
Fey Bonds, Understanding the Pact of the Fey.
Yeah.
This book explores the concept of Fey bargains, contracts, and often dangerous power of promises made to these creatures. It also covers how to recognize subtle contracts and loopholes that the Fey might use to trap mortals in binding pacts. Alright. Chapter highlights. Chapter 1. This chapter provides a deep dive into the nature of Fey pacts, explaining that they are not mere agreements, but intricate living contracts steeped in magic. Tasha, don't forget you have to go get Dev.
I know. He gets out late tonight a little bit, so I'm literally messaging him right now, being like, "Let me know when I should head up."
Okay. The Fae don't view their promises as simple transactions. They are binding on a metaphysical level, often entwining the Fae's essence with the mortal's fate. Key points are the immutability of Fae deals. Once struck, Fae pacts cannot easily be undone. Terms are set in ancient magical traditions that even the Fae themselves must respect. Unlike mortal contracts, a Fae pact is often defined by the exact phrasing of the agreement. A single misworded sentence can change the entire nature of the deal. Fey bargains are often motivated by whimsy or a desire for amusement rather than malice. However, they may also be driven by a deeper, more obscure purpose than They may also be driven by a deeper, more obscure purpose within their realm. Chapter 2, Offering and Receiving. One of the most crucial aspects of a Fey pact is the exchange between parties. The Fey are notorious for their ability to extract something of great value in exchange for their help. What might seem like a harmless request can come with immense personal cost later on. Fey often deal in emotions. Fear, joy, love, sorrow, trading them for favors or assistance. These emotions are incredibly potent in the Feywild, and the Fey value them more than material wealth. While material goods might be offered as part of a deal, the Fey often value intangible things like time, memory, or promises far more. Fey often work in exchanges of equal value. A mortal might ask for a favor, but the Fey will require something equally important in return, often discovered only after the deal has been made. Chapter 3, The Hidden Cost. This section discusses common traps in Fey packs, and how the true cost of a deal is often hidden even from the Fey themselves. Fey are not inherently evil, but their perception of what is fair or balanced is often skewed by their otherworldly nature. Fey packs are often deliberately ambiguous. Fey may hide their true intentions behind layers of meaning, leaving a mortal unaware of the true cost until it's too late. Many Fey bargains focus on the manipulation of time, by either extending one's life force or forcing someone to lose precious moments in exchange for a boon. Fey are notorious for taking, quote unquote, more than they bargained for, often drawing on a mortal's essence, memories, or even their future to fulfill the contract in ways that the mortal did not anticipate. Chapter 4, Art of Negotiation. This chapter provides practical advice for mortals who find themselves negotiating with Fey. Given the complexity of Fey deals, negotiation is an art that requires careful attention and a sharp mind. Before negotiating with a Fey, it's important to understand what you bring to the table. Whether it's a rare skill, a powerful artifact, or a connection to another Fey creature, knowing your worth can help you avoid being swindled. The Fae may offer favors that seem simple, but the mortals should always be careful about their phrasing. Asking for something too vague, like immortality or freedom, may result in the Fae interpreting it in ways that do not benefit the mortal. A key tactic in Fae negotiations is setting strict boundaries. A mortal might request a favor, but specify how it should be carried out, where it will take place, and when it will end. However, Fae are skilled at finding ways around such limits. If you're dealing with a member of a Fae court, one must understand the court's particular rules. The Seelie court may offer deals of benevolence, while the Unseelie court offers more devious cunning contracts that often carry a deeper price. Chapter 5, Breaking the Pact. While breaking a Fae pact is rarely a good idea, this chapter provides guidance on how to avoid becoming trapped in a deal and what to do if a pact must be broken. Sometimes a carefully crafted loophole can undo a Fae bargain. Fae pacts are often filled with contradictions or ambiguities that can be exploited, but finding these loopholes is extremely difficult. The breaking of a Fae pact is dangerous and often results in terrible consequences, such as being cursed, bound to the Fae's service, or losing something precious in one's life. For Fae rarely let a broken pact go unpunished. A mortal may be able to buy out of a Fae pact, but this requires offering something of great personal value or completing a task of tremendous difficulty. Chapter 6, The Darker Aspect of Fae Pacts. This final chapter delves into a more sinister side of Fae dealings, especially for those who deal with darker Fae creatures like Archfey or the Unseelie Court. It warns against becoming too entangled with dangerous Fae who are motivated by power, revenge, or the whimsy of chaos. Archfey deals are more intricate and often involve the exchange of something deeply personal, like a mortal's soul or their ability to love. Deals with members of the Unseelie Court are often filled with malice and trickery. These bargains are not made in good faith and can be devastating if one is not cautious. The Fae are known for their tricks. What seems like a simple favor may turn into a lifetime of servitude, or worse, a curse that will haunt the mortal for eternity. At the end of the book, Lyric of the Wilds provides a list of common phrases and words to avoid during negotiations, as well as a guide to identifying when a Fae is playing with you. There's also a final note on how to protect oneself from Fae influence, suggesting both magical wards and practical methods of defense. So what now?
Okay. I'll probably read the types of hay book.
I'm gonna end it there for tonight, since Josh dropped.
Yep,
He sucks.
and Vibes gonna be leaving here soon.
So, bye bye.